Hey everybody out there, this is the Shadow Hunter right here on YouTube. And now I've been on Twitter a lot looking at a lot of these ghost hunters pages and stuff. And I am actually seeing a major problem with their method compared to my method. One of my favorite methods for looking into a haunted area is a Ouija board. I don't worry much about the electromagnetic field or nothing like that. I go old school. I use the Ouija board. I use candles. A lot of these people are going to these houses and these other locations, and they're taking one day to try to do an investigation, and an investigation simply takes more than one day. Minimum is 3 days, maximum is up to 2 months. I've said as long as 2 months on site in one haunted area. You can't just go into a place and determine it's haunted. First thing you have to do is look into when the place was built, the people that's lived there, if anything drastic has happened in the area, then you have to go back and talk to every resident who has lived in that home or in that area and get their stories. And then you have to determine what kind of entity you're dealing with. Now, I've not seen anybody do this. Let me tell you something. A demon is a lot different than a ghost. You're going to get a different response if you approach it a different way. A poltergeist is completely different. A shadow person requires a certain way to approach it to get results. I'll give you an example. A poltergeist, if you want a result and you're pretty sure dealing with a poltergeist and they're pretty easy to figure out if you're dealing with one, then you want to make it angry or feed it negative emotions to get a response, where if you've done the same thing to a ghost or something, you probably wouldn't even get a response, period. These ghost hunters are rushing into this without doing their research and actually studying what people learned a long time ago before all the fancy stuff came out. And they're forgetting all this, and they're rushing these videos, and they're getting a minute amount of proof when they could be getting something a whole lot more. Now, when I say a whole lot more, I'll give you an example. I have had videos before of things flying across a room and no one was there, and it was recording on its own, and no one was even in the house at the time, and there was objects flying 5 and 10 feet up in the air, lights flashing on and off in the same room. I've got growls, I've got voices lasting 30 to 40 seconds on white noise using different things. I have got several responses from a Ouija board. I've got movement, I've got words, I've actually got names from them before. I'd like to see a lot of you ghost hunters out there who are just getting into this go back and put some of this into practice. If you don't have one, get someone on your team who's not afraid to use a Ouija board. There is an appropriate way to use one that is safe, fairly safe, if they know what they're doing. I've used one for years. I've never had any negative impact from it. I urge you to get someone like that on your team, and to get someone on your team who's actually went through and research the different types and kinds of entities that are out there. The list is huge. You got everything from a succubus to a shadow person to a shadow animal, ghosts, spirits, angels. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on, and you need someone out there who can determine what is what when you're on these investigations, instead of just saying everything is a ghost or a spirit, because that simply isn't true, and it shows your lack of knowledge on the subject when you do this. Yeah, you may get a lot of views on YouTube, or you may get a lot of views on Twitter, or wherever you're posting this video at, but people who actually do this, not for the fame, but for the knowledge, see right through what you're doing. They see it as a money-making scheme, because you haven't took the time or put the time in it to even learn the appropriate behavior of what you're dealing with. But this is Shadow Hunter, and I'm going to try to get a video up pretty soon of me actually doing a session in an area where people have been hearing voices and amongst other things. And I'm going to do a session on the Ouija board and a few other things, and show you a couple of my techniques, even though you think they may be a little bit out there compared to what people are doing today. And I should be able to show you some results as well. But this is Shadow Hunter. Thank you for watching the video. Keep hunting out there. Keep gathering evidence and gathering proof, because there is things going on out there. I can tell you that for a fact. and you have a good day.